name's Melody, and this is the 21st episode of Melody Crochet Podcast. Welcome! If you're new, welcome. Get comfy. This is where I come to talk about my knitting and crochet projects along with anything else that's crafty or that happened in the week prior. I hope that I find you doing well. I hope you have something to drink and something to work on while we're chatting. And if you're returning, thank you. Give you a big hug. It's really nice to see you. I did a little bit of work this week. It wasn't as prolific as usual. I just really had fun with it. My goal for this, everybody's talking about their focus for the year, and mine is really joyful crochet and knitting. Like, I've did a lot of complicated patterns and I did a lot of complicated things last year, and this year I just want to have fun. I want to make cute things and enjoy myself. So that's pretty much what I've been working on. And over at Zines and Rogers, they're having an along that has really boosted me in that because I have just loved granny crochet forever, and she's having a granny along 18 where we're just doing granny projects, and I'm just bursting through them. I have so many that I can't wait to work on. So I'm just kind of relaxing with my crochet and a little bit of sock knitting too. Nothing to write home about. It's mostly my away from home project, but I have decided I really need to get on them. These are my Easter socks, guys. I'm not even going to show these during my works in progress because it's awkward how slow I'm going. I started these last Easter. Now you would think, oh my gosh, it takes her a year to do socks, but really it's because of that 9-inch circular. I've finished several other pairs since I started these, but if I change the needles right now, they loosen my gauge so much that I would not get away with that. It would not match the first sock at all, which fits just fine. But I worked on the gauge that I got from the 9-inch circular, so I am 1.5 socks in, and I need to really get on it. See, if you look really closely, you can see I only have a few more rows, maybe 2 or 3 until I hit that provisional cast on, and then I just put a little line of yarn in there and I do the heel later, and I get on that foot, which is just as long. But I think it's maybe been about 2 months since I started this. It's slow for me. It's one of those things where I do about 3-4 rows at a time. It doesn't hurt my hands. These 9-inch circulars do hurt some people's hands, but like I said, my gauge is loose because I'm not holding on tight. It's just kind of tedious. I love DPNs, the double points. I'm okay knitting socks in Magic Circle. I'd say that's second. This is decidedly 3rd or 4th place. If there is another mode that I'm not thinking of, then this is still after that one. I will keep them. They are cute, but knitting socks of any reasonable length on these takes me a long time. And the fact that I'm kind of held hostage by them, I think is bringing out my stubborn side, because I can't change these needles. My gauge is way tighter on my DPNs and quite a bit tighter on my Magic Circle. So even 2 at a time would have been faster than this. So I'm gonna have you guys hold me accountable. It would be fabulous if by the next time I podcast, 1 week from now, I was finished with these. So, in case we haven't met, my name is Melody. I have a blog. I create crochet patterns, and I do a lot of crochet, hence the name Melody Crochet, but a few years back I picked up knitting, so I do quite a bit of knitting too, mostly shawls and socks. I've never picked up the love for a pair of crocheted socks, and I've tried many on different gauges, different hooks, different size yarns, and I really just love the look and feel of a knitted sock. So, you know, I've tried several times to learn how to knit because I didn't know about continental knitting until I saw a YouTube creator by the name of Hectanuga, and she's fabulous. She's just famous for these tiny little crafts, and by little I mean she does a lot of crafts and she does little videos, so they're very short. You could turn on one of her lists of videos and just watch her make everything under the sun. She's just magical. And I always loved her. In one of her little videos, I was sitting there crocheting and she started wandering through knitting. And she's like, so if you're a crocheter, because she is an avid crocheter, have you ever tried this? And then she worked her yarn. Her working yarn was in her left hand, just like a crocheter would have it, which I just could not wrap my stitches with consistent tension. I couldn't even wrap my stitches with consistent wraps. I was going clockwise and counterclockwise in the same project. It was a mess. So my tension was off, my stitches were twisted and then not twisted, and it was just a mess. But then I went and I grabbed I've had, you know, the needles from Michael's and things like that. I've always had them because I tried to knit. Never any DPNs or circular needles. They were always the straights. I didn't know anything else because I'd never been to another kind of yarn store. I didn't have a reason to go. There weren't a ton of yarn stores around me in California. That's where I learned to knit. And I kind of had to hunt down a good yarn store. So here in Texas, there's quite a few more than at least were available to me at that point. I believe there are more popping up in California though, which is fabulous. I love to hear that. But I digress. She showed me how to hold my working yarn in my left hand, and I was off to the races. Dishcloth made the next day. It was just magic. And I mean, I tried to learn to knit probably about 4 good solid tries. I'm sure other times halfway, half-heartedly, but 4 good solid times, and I just made a mess. I apparently was just never meant to hold my working yarn in my right hand. And I can accept that. So that's my little knitting story. And this is the only knitting I've done this week, and I probably did about 5 rows. So I'm gonna put him away. I found these really fun bags. I got a few for gifts coming up, and I think it cost about $3 at Daiso, and it's waterproof, which is fabulous for purse knitting, right? So that's what they've been living in, because if something's going to be on your needles for a year, it better be waterproof, am I right? No. But I love those, and I love the little elephants on them. They're so cute. They had several patterns, but these are just so cute. It's probably just nylon. It's drawstring, both sides. I could fit several pairs in there, but I just have the one because I am focused on it right now. And let's get started, shall we? As far as the week goes, I'll do more chatter at the end, but we had Valentine's Day, and it was a lot of fun. I got through and made everything I needed to make for gifts and such, and then I received my gifts from the kids, and oh my gosh, my son got me something. Little sheep sushi stickers. Here they are. Check that out. They just scream me. I love sushi. Love sushi. I'd say our whole family does. It's like our favorite meal. And isn't that cute? They even have the little rice ball. Oh, my nails feel so naked. I took off my press-on nails yesterday because they were the Valentine's Day ones. They feel so naked. Oh my gosh. I just chopped them down. They got so long in like the 5 days that I had the nails on. What's next? I guess finished objects. I don't have a ton of finished objects. When it comes to the granny square along that I'm doing right now with Zine and Roger, and they have a fabulous board over there where they are having a discussion. When it comes to projects that are fast and easy like that, it gives me such ADD. I just want to make all the things right now as I'm inspired, which is fabulous because they'll all get done because like I said, they're fast and easy. But my first finished object I am wearing. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? It almost looks like it might be scratchy. Some people have said, ooh, that looks scratchy. No, not at all. It's the farthest thing from scratchy. It's like a cotton ball. But this is Zine and Roger's pattern, and she has a video accompanying it. Hardly necessary. She writes one clear pattern. It was awesome, but I did have her video running in the background just because, you know, why not, right? So she sent me in a little swap some drops Melody, because my name's Melody. I saw her with it and I'm like, is that yarn named after me? Oh my gosh. And she was so sweet, she sent it to me. So I started this and I was worried. You'll notice that there's a lot more gray than teal. I was worried, so I did a 2-to-1 ratio, actually a 5-to-3 ratio, but I did a lot more gray than teal because I had 1 ball of green and 2 balls of gray. It was far from necessary. Look how much I have left over. I think I worked the 29, maybe a little bit more than the 29 rows necessary. 8. The numbers will come to me in a second. So 32. So this is 32 rows because 8 times. That wouldn't have worked out to be 29. And I made one little faux pas, which I'm really happy about because usually I do a lot of little mistakes where I'll just make a half double instead of a double crochet because this was so fast and easy. My mind was on 7 other things going on in the house. So I'm surprised I didn't make more, but with this kind of yarn, if you make a mistake, you don't take it out. The stitches are forever. You'd have to cut it out and probably cut out the row before it too, but I wasn't about to do that. Let me see here. Woo! Ooh, it's toasty. Okay. I made one little mistake. I do love to out my mistakes with you guys. I have no idea why. You guys are probably like, who cares? I know I would be if it was somebody else's. Let's see, that's the end of the row. Looks like it was right here. Right here, that green one right there should be a chain only and it's a cluster. So I had an additional cluster on one side because it's a chevron. So one of my sides had an additional cluster, which wouldn't have been a big issue, but when it comes to the end, when you sew in, I'd have an extra cluster and it would be wider when I sewed. So right before that, I decreased one cluster. No harm. And I could not be more pleased with it. I wore it today, found the tank top to match it, the sweater to match it. I was quite pleased. I do love to get color coordinating. Today I'm having chocolate mint tea. I shouldn't be. It's pretty late for Friday, but I've been on a really great sleep schedule lately. I've been getting up at 6 a.m., which is amazing. It's just a little time for myself before doing the homeschooling and everything. Changes the entire day. But the problem is I just love staying up late and crocheting. It's not like it's insomnia where I couldn't go to sleep if I went to bed. I just don't want to. I love staying up, having some tea and crocheting after everybody's gone to bed, watching podcasts and chilling out. But I find I can do that and probably even more productively in the morning. I hope I can stay with, I know I can stay with this. I hope I choose to because it's actually really, really nice. Plus I get a little time with the husband before he goes to work, which is always awesome. Let's get on with this. I have one more finished object that I cannot wait to share. This is my number 2 in the granny crochet. I'm going to show you the front, and it's an apron. I love aprons. I wear aprons when I cook. I love aprons like this. This is basically dishcloth cotton. There is a little bit of the Creative Cottage right here, these 2 colors, and this one, Creative Cottage from Hobby Lobby. This is the Peaches and Cream from Michaels, and the white is the Sugar and Cream. I might have transposed that. Sugar and Cream, Peaches and Cream. Same difference to me. I don't even know who, what, when, where on that one, but I know this was Michaels and this was Walmart. So, and I just have a great big old band of cotton, and I just picked and chose. This is the second time I've made this apron. I made this once before for a girlfriend. Hers was in yellows, so it was lighter and darker yellows and white. And I had always wanted one, but I never made one, even though it's so fast. It's just 8 really simple granny squares on a J-hook. Took no time at all. Even this band took no time at all, and I made it extra long so it can tie around the front. And I went ahead and, oops, sorry about that. There we go. I went ahead and did the band while I was away from home because it's such an easy project, and then sewed it on after. Probably would have looked a little neater if I had crocheted it right on the edge, but I didn't want to. So I made the band while I was away from home with the kids doing a thing, came home and sewed it on, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. I just love a granny square project. I've said it once, I will say it again. I love granny squares. They're like the calling card of crochet, aren't they? Oh, it smells a little like glue because I do hot glue fabric glue the ends of my cottons on things like this because I wash them so frequently. This will be washed every time I wear it. So that is my last finished object. I do have another thing that I made that I wanted to share with you guys. I went to the yarn store. That's not true. That just rolls off the tongue. That's not where I went. I went to, during sub-zero temperatures, I went to the hardware store. I can't even say that. That's odd, isn't it? I can't even say that. I went to the hardware store. Look at all that left. What am I gonna make? Oh my gosh. I'm thinking I need a little amigurumi, something I can pet forever, because I really do just love petting this. And then in addition to that, I will set it aside and work it into one of my Stephen West shawls or something knitted just for the fluff value. It's called bulky, but look at this. And this is, by the way, just the Drops Melody again. And it is 71% alpaca? 71% alpaca, 25% wool, 4% polyamide. So super awesome. And it's bulky, but to look at it, you wouldn't think so. That's why I used the eye hook that she suggested on the pattern, because it's bulky because of the wisps. But in and of itself, it's rather thin in there, see? So I felt pretty confident using the smaller hook. That way I could stay on target. I was still on gauge. It wasn't coming out at a crazy width. Although I think if I had it to do over again, I would have made her large. But like I said, this is not coming out. These stitches are forever. And I couldn't be more pleased with it. I just love it. I've worn it all day. But what was I getting onto? I went to the hardware store. It was super, super cold. Was out with my husband, I think it was last weekend on Saturday, and we were just wandering, and we went to this kind of cheap hardware store. It's called Harbor Freight, and went in there, and we do love to go in there and just see what they make. My husband by trade fixes things. So tools and things, they're kind of his yarn. And we went in, and I like to go to, because they have quirky things, and I love quirky stuff. And I saw the bags in back. Compared to the same bag, let's say they made it a different color at Michael's with the same quality, it would have been $40 at Michael's. For some reason, for men though, they make it black and they charge $8. What the heck? I was pretty upset. I'm like, this is an $8 bag. Whatever. I'm gonna move my tea out of the way because sometimes I get crazy. So this is what I got. It's a satchel. I love it. I put all of my pins on it. It has a ton of pockets inside and all the room that ever happened. Seriously, it's huge. It can hold all the things. I haven't filled it up because I wanted to share it with you guys. And I highly suggest that if you are looking for a great big old travel bag for your yarn, head to Harbor Freight. I'm going to cutesy it up a little bit more. The pins had to go on immediately. Before this, they were on my big zombie messenger bag. I really don't love a messenger bag lately. I used to, but for some reason, I just don't. It feels heavy, and it has a bunch of pockets, but they're all kind of narrow. So I'm really loving this. The idea of just filling up the bag. There are pockets all the way around here on the edges, just everywhere. Oh, here. It's crazy. Oh, while I was there, I got this light too. So it lights up over here. And then it lights up up here, which I thought was awesome for when you're kind of in low light situations. It has a hook, a magnet if you can stick it onto something metal. It's amazing. Am I just easily amused? That might be it. But if I am, don't stop me, because I was just in awe. It was $1.99. Meanwhile, I'm paying how much for OttLights? Just saying. And I do too. I love my OttLight. I have a little cell phone looking one that opens up. Then I got one of these because it's my cute ones, my cute measuring tapes that I get from the store are only like 60 inches long. This thing's forever. This is 10 feet. So way longer than the cloth one. So I figure I can keep this around for when I'm making something bigger, because I do measure my projects, especially when I test knit for other people. They want to know how big everything is, and sometimes I have to kind of go through 2 times. So I was pretty pleased. And this was 99 cents, I think. I had the safety scissors because having a big bag with sharp scissors inside it is a little scary, especially a dark black one like this. It's just asking to be stabbed. But I wanted to share with you guys, just in case you're in the market for a great big old bag, and who isn't? I mean, I still love my project bags, but my project bags could probably all fit in there. Like if I'm going somewhere for the day or the weekend, fabulous. I was in awe just looking at this wall. They had like 4 different sizes. I'm like, I have to tell everybody about this. Okay, now my work's in progress. I believe I have one with us here. I have been pretty diligent, although I do have another that I can share with you. That one too. Okay, 3. Good morning. This is what you get on me on Friday night. So, my color is medium gray or light gray? Light gray, and I love this yarn, which is really close to white. And this is what I have. This is 8 squares. They're about 12 inches wide and tall, of course. They're on a J hook. I tried an I hook because I wanted to use that new tulip crochet hook that I got that I love, but I had to go J. When I tried the I, the fabric was just a little stiff, and I don't want a stiff jacket. I am making the unicorn poop cardigan. And I'm going to look up her name because I do not want to mess up the pattern writer's name. Nikki Hempel. And Nikki Hempel has such beautiful, colorful projects, and I love it. And she always accents them with black, which is totally me. I just love bright colors and black for my crochet and knitting projects because I wear a lot of very neutral colors, mostly black, and it just suits my mom life. And for the most part, I like to brighten up things with my projects. So I'm making 2 of the unicorn poop cardigans. I am making 2 unicorn poop cardigans. She calls it the number 349. Not sure why, but regardless, I am making my first one in all gray, and it will have the fringe in the back. And I'm also making this one just a little bit shorter. I was gonna go ahead and get another ball of the gray yarn, and then I said to myself, no, this is definitely something I want a little bit shorter, because I'm going to use what's left to do the sleeves, and then I'm going to add a little bit of colorful granny stitching on the cuffs, just right here, and then I'll put the fringe on. And if it's really short, and I don't think it's going to be at all, I'm just judging by how this measures on me, because I don't have a long torso. Since I don't think it's going to be too short, but if it is, I could do a little granny stitching on the bottom too in other colors. And that will be very subtle. I'll just do like pastels and like keep it really simple. And then I'm going to just go wild and make an amazing colorful one. And that will also have black fringe and color on the sleeves. So I'm excited, and it's so granny. You know what I mean? It's just full granny. The other one's gonna, this one has all squares. The other one's gonna have variations of squares. I have my acrylic in the living room laid out everywhere. The dogs are terrified because they won't touch my yarn. So they're just kind of stepping carefully around it, and so exciting. I also have plans in the work for a crochet shawl that's going to be in a gradient. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be very boho and more fringe. I don't know what it is with me and fringe right now, but I like it. It needs to hang out. So this is awesome. I've done all the work. Now I just sew it together. I bet it's done by morning. After this, I'm going to go play video games with the guys and sew this together. So my next project will actually probably be frogged. Not because I don't love it, but this is the swimming fishy pattern on the first leg, so the January leg of the Jaden Stitches crochet along this year. And I don't mind it, but this is Red Heart Super Saver in purple, and I really think that I could do it in better yarn. I don't mind acrylic, but I saved my Red Heart Super Saver for my character hats for a reason. It's not drapey. I don't think I'm gonna love it. And I'm so early on, I figure if you're gonna redo it right before month 2. So I love everything Jaden Stitches. She's over on YouTube also, in case you haven't seen her, but of course you've seen her. She's amazing. And I love her little pattern here. It was so quick and easy and cute, and it's just gonna be a little throw. So I don't know, not sure. It doesn't look terrible on film, but it feels a little crunchy. So I might have to redo that. My pancakes. This, another just light, fun project. I'm telling you, that's all I'm doing right now, and I am loving it. I have finished the vast majority of my pancakes for my Twinkie Chan inspired pancake scarf. And this is basically going to be for wearing to IHOP. And I went with the gold color, and I went with Aran. This is both Red Heart Super Saver again. The Aran color on the outside, gold on the inside, and then my syrup, I think I have 3 more to put the Aran on the outside of. Then I'll start my syrup, which is going to be in different colors, kind of like IHOP syrup colors, like the dark red, deep purple, and then some brown for the maple syrup. Then I'll pop my butter pats on here. So I'm hoping that'll be done soon. And I can't wait to wear it to IHOP. I don't even go to IHOP very much. We just got one locally. I've been one time since we got it, but I cannot wait to wear this to IHOP. And when I make pancakes at home, I'll go ahead and wear it then too. I have quite a bit of the gold left over. I'm going to start a blanket for my mom, and this color, all the fall colors are so my mom. She asked for a lapgan, and I tried to do one. I kind of massacred it. I went ahead and actually cut it and sewed the edge to see if that would work. It was too long. She asked for something about the size of a towel, and when I chained it up, it was okay. And I really thought I checked it well, but after about 30 rows, it was obvious that it was just going to be too long and it was just going to get in the way if she's sitting down. So I had to stop. And I tried to shorten it, and that did not work. I told myself that it did, because technically it wasn't unraveling, and I could have done an edge on it. But no, it doesn't take that long to make a, I guess, what's that, a 45-inch wide blanket? I need to just buckle down and make her a really cute ripple. If I get started soon enough, it might be a granny ripple. I'm telling you, I'm granny addicted right now. Someone stop me. You can't. Nobody can. So that is my last in progress. That also is on an eye hook. So I hope to be able to show you those all finished up next week. It would be amazing if I had all my whips and my Easter socks done to share with you in 1 week. That's going to be my goal. So hold me accountable. If I get those all done, there'll be a giveaway. Okay? So cheer me on. Come see me on Instagram. Let me know what's going on. Keep me going, and giveaway if I finish my socks, my pancakes, and my gray cardigan by next Friday. Let's do it. So I do have a few things to give away, and I do have an along coming up. We're going to talk about that in a separate video. I will go over it at the end of this, but I'm also going to do a separate video just for the benefit of everybody who just wants to hear about the along. So let's talk about my purchases and the gifts I've received this week. First off, I did a swap, and this was a swap, not a yarny friend, just a friend. And it's through a website that we both do swaps with, and they paired us up, and she was awesome. Very chatty. I do love to make a new friend. So we met each other, and we realized that we were both going to veer off from our snarky Valentine path. The typical path would be, you know, the little housewives with the snarky comments? You're supposed to kind of theme it on that with a Valentine's Day stick to it. But we're not inspired by the housewives at all. They're cute, but I don't know how to make one or draw one. I would have had to find some of those and cut them out and apply them to something. And I just was not inspired to do that. And I had no idea when signing up that we were supposed to stick to that so closely. So we both veered. Fortunately, that's not a problem in the swap, because as long as you send what you're supposed to send, it's fine. But she went above and beyond. She spoiled me rotten. I felt so bad when I got the box. She sent a box. I sent an envelope. Oh, that's the worst feeling, isn't it? When you receive something and you know that they just did so much more than you did. Like, oh, sometimes you just have to take the gulp and realize it happens. Sometimes you get spoiled, sometimes you spoil. And it all works out in the end, and it's all even and wonderful. But when I get spoiled, sometimes for a second I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But I did send what I was supposed to. So I didn't like shirk the swap. She just, oh my gosh, she sent so much candy. So much candy. Maria, so much candy. Oh my gosh, she filled up my alpaca cookie jar with candy. The children rejoiced. Angels sung to them. They were so happy. I'm still hitting that too. She sent the Dove Reese's, or the chocolate Reese's hearts. Oh, they're amazing. So, but what she made me, I need to turn off the light. It's gonna be dark for a sec. Not very, huh? Can you see it? It's an anatomical heart in a jar, and she put a little electronic tea light in there. So it kind of pulsates. And she decorated each of the little candies herself with little snarky comments. And it is adorable. It's only half of a jar. She somehow cut this jar, put it on here so it could hang on the wall, although I kind of just leaned it on my mantle. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, I don't even know where she came up with that. That is so creative. And I just love it. I will love it forever. Plus, I can still change the battery because she left that accessible, which is fabulous. And she finished it beautifully. I never finished the back of my hoopla well. So, aw, snarky Valentine's Day swap. She put it on the back. It's beautiful. She also sent another extra. She sent me a box of tea, first off, which I see this at Target all the time, and I've never grabbed one. But did you know they're the silky pyramids? They're the little sachets. She sent me Earl Grey, my absolute favorite. She even put the candy that she sent the kids, she put for the cute kid in the YouTube video, because I've had my younger son on the channel a few times. But oh, it smells so good, and this is going to be able to hold all the Twinings Earl Grey when the box is empty. So I love that purple too. That periwinkle is one of my favorite colors. Since I love it so much, I went back and I got the chocolate mint. This is actually the same brand, and I never got that brand before, but the tins and the cute little sachets, oh my gosh, I was all about it. I'm like, wow, I really had no idea what was in there, and I never looked twice. Whenever I go to Target, I always go to the tea aisle and see if there's anything new or different, and for some reason I just hadn't gravitated toward that brand. It's awesome. So if you get a chance, I highly suggest it. So far both teas have been fabulous. she sent one more thing. She sent me STDs. It fits the snarky Valentine's Day just right. They are little stuffies of herpes, chlamydia, the clap, HPV, and syphilis. I haven't opened them because I wanted to show you guys first. After this, I'm going to put them with my stuffies, and when people pick them up, I'm just going to giggle because they're picking up STDs. I know that's really crass. I hope that's not offensive to anybody, but that just cracks me up. That is right up Melody Lane. So I laughed so hard when I figured out what I was looking at. At first I was just looking like, and then it sunk in. Amazing. The whole package was like that. At first I was looking at this like, what am I looking at? What am I seeing? Oh, and then when I realized it lit up, that's awesome. Okay, so that was my swap package, and she spoiled me rotten. I love it. I did do a little shopping this week. Not a ton. When we went to the hardware store, I stopped in at the yarn store. We have a huge yarn store. Saying it's a big yarn store doesn't do it justice. We have, I believe it's the biggest yarn store in the tri-state area, I think she said. And Diane that runs the place is the mayor of the city. She's fabulous, so she's always giving us like information about the city and what's going on and what's going to be coming up next, because we love that city over there. We were considering moving over there, but it wouldn't have been great for my husband's job. So we stayed kind of local. But I went over to Fiber Circle in Farmersville, and I found this. It was actually a hat that was already knitted up. The Zoe by Alexandra Davidoff. She gifted me the pattern, and I saw this hat knitted up in this yarn, but in a slightly different color. I went over and I picked this one out. It's amazingly soft. It's 40% wool, 40% alpaca, and 20% silk. And you can see how it's got kind of a rough twist of those elements. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's knitted. It's going to take some, I think it wants 4s and 6s, so I'll be using 3s and 5s because I have a loose gauge like I mentioned. And I cannot wait to get started. It's called Juniper Moon in Moonshine. So cute. I've never used any Juniper Moon. I've looked at it many, many times and haven't grabbed it. Every 100 grams is 197 yards. So excited. Believe that's worsted weight. Suggests using a size 7 or 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. They don't even mention crocheting with it. But I am going to make the hat. If I crocheted the hat, I might need more than one. So that's one of the perks. You do use about, I want to say 35% less yarn when you knit something compared to when you crochet. So that is one of the perks of knitting. You save a little bit of yarn, and I would love to start that, but I will wait until I finish a few more of my granny projects, just to give us all the benefit of the doubt. Another thing I grabbed while I was there is this little tuft of Angora, and I keep these around in case I need a little something fun to hold with other yarn in projects, like in shawls and stuff. It's 100% Angora, it's just a little fluff ball. I like having the white around, although she has a ton of other colors. I want to say about 8 other colors, and she keeps them in these tall tubes just stacked on top of each other. It's addictive. And I think it's $6, so they look really cute in amigurumis. They make really cute little pom-poms if you want a tail on something. One of these lasts me forever, so it's totally worth the investment. And they crochet really well. Not all animal fibers like that crochet well, but those really do. It's nice and strong considering it's just a little fluff ball of Angora bunny. Now, I did get one more tulip. I got the K hook and tulip. Here he is. I got a K. So I was going to go ahead and buy the set, and I probably still will, but I didn't buy the set because I hate spending money. and I bought couches. So, this is a segue, by the way, in case you're curious, into our along, because I bought couches and I need pillows. I need throw pillows. So we are going to be doing the Spring Decor Along 18. Starting now until April 1st, we're going to be doing a make along, knitting, crochet, whatever you do. There will be prizes. You can enter as many times as you like. There will be prizes on the finished object thread. There'll be a prize on the chatter thread, and there will be a prize on the actual site on YouTube for the video where I'm going to be discussing it. And I'll discuss it at further length, although there's not much more to say than I just told you. But if you leave a comment on that video, not this one, but that video, then you'll be in for a prize also. On April 1st will be the last day to enter. Prizes will be drawn on April 2nd. And I'm just going to say it here, because I'm going to say it there, and I cannot stand having to redraw. You have to subscribe for the prize on there, because that's how I'm going to be able to get a hold of you when I do a comment back. And if you don't get back to me within 2 weeks, so the 15th of April, then I'm going to redraw. So I'm sure I won't have to. I haven't had to yet. I'm really optimistic. Everybody's been really easy to get a hold of, but I have to say that because I'd hate to just hold on to the prizes. That would not be any fun. And it will of course be spring themed. There will be yarn, there will be bags, and there will be charms. And at least 3 packages. If anybody would like to donate for any more, totally happy to receive that. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know if you are sending something so I can keep an eye out. Otherwise, I don't go to the post office box unless I'm expecting something. So, it's not my favorite place. Aside from that, that is all for me today, guys. It's been a good week, I'd say. And it's been a very optimistic week. I'm having a great time with birth month. And if you'd like to follow me over on Instagram and Snapchat, I am Instagramming and Snapchatting all my birth month fun, exploring all the fun places that I like to go here in Texas. And there's a lot more to be had because we had a slow start. It was so cold. It was below freezing. I'm like, this is February. And it was cold everywhere. So that is the reason we are doing the spring decor along. We need some cheer. We need some perky cheer and to have some color and to have a reminder that spring is coming. Today I got out of the car at the grocery store and I thought I heard chirping of birds. Well, not birds, but like we have cicadas and different bugs that make noises when it's warm. Turned out it was the lamp. Me and my son were so disappointed. We're like, there's bugs. No, there's no bugs here right now. They're asleep. It's cold. But it is warming up. It was 50 degrees today, 50, 55, and it will be a little warmer for the weekend, but we're expecting about 3 or 4 days of rain, which is fine, as long as I'm not freezing. So, that's all from me. I'm not complaining. I know that with the rain and the cold, the colder it gets, the fewer bugs will be in spring, the fewer weeds that will make me allergic, and I know it's all a cycle, but I'm really looking forward to seeing some sunshine and some perky weather and some wildflowers and wearing shorts. So let's bring that sunshine inside to keep us warm and comfy while we're waiting on it, shall we? Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I love seeing the comments, even if you don't have a question. Here, I'll throw a question at you guys. What'd you do for Valentine's Day? Good or bad, whether you love the holiday or hate the holiday, even if you just made some dinner, what'd you make for dinner? My husband gave me presents. He left me some presents on my desk because he left before I got up that day. He was up at the crack of dawn. And my son got me some stickers, and my little one got me a pink yoga block, which I love because I needed a second yoga block. I have short arms. I do yoga all the time, and I can't put my hands on the ground and lift up my hips as you do in a lot of yoga positions. So if I have blocks, then I can put my hands on the blocks and easily lift up because it elongates my arms. So it was fabulous. So now I have 2 yoga blocks and I can lift. First thing I did was lift. My elbows are still a little weak in that area because I've never been able to do it before, but I will strengthen up. No worries. I got flowers and chocolate. I was spoiled. I love them. My guys take very good care of me. But let me hear what you guys were up to. I hope you did well. Did you get any yarn? Did you buy yourself any yarn? Anything? I'm open. So let me know what you were up to. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that I'll see you over on Instagram. Please subscribe below. I very, very much appreciate it. I'm hearing that is more and more important. So that would be fabulous. I would consider it a favor if you like the podcast, if you would subscribe. Have a great day. Take good care. I will see you in a couple. I do have a little midweek tutorial planned, and I will let you guys know about that on Instagram as soon as it's set in stone. But I will give a little hint. It involves this. So you'll be hearing from me very soon. Take good care, guys. Bye.